Well, hey everybody, I'm Josh and that's Mike for Visit Lawrenceburg TN. Now, tons of you guys have followed us elsewhere on the internet, and we have finally, Mike, made it here to YouTube. We finally have had enough time to get here in the studio and get things over there. Now, Mike, they don't get to see you talk a whole bunch in here at YouTube. We're going to let you talk a lot.
That's fine.
Tell everybody what Visit Lawrenceburg TN is about, what we do, and everything. You know, for folks that are new here at YouTube that don't know who are these guys and what do they do. So,
well, yeah. I mean, it's been 3 years. You know what I mean? And though we kind of I've kind of been known as the Lawrence County tourism person since 2010. They primarily know you.
Yeah, they do. Everybody sees me elsewhere on the internet talking. And now, if you have seen some of our other videos, Mike is in fact there. He is truly the camera and technical guy. I wish you guys could see here behind the screen. He set all this up. But that is basically what we do. It is freelance tourism for the Middle Tennessee, Lawrence County area, because that is where our home is. We cover everything there in the entire county, but we also branch out into other counties and North Alabama. So.
Well, yeah, we do go down to, because Lawrence County happens to be not only the birthplace of Southern gospel music, so about the time the 1900s started, James D. Vaughn started popularizing the paid quartet, which is why we got the birthplace of Southern gospel music. As far as we could tell, that's one of the first times you would be basically a paid musician at that point, as he would make these hymnals, and then he would get this paid quartet to run around and sing. There was no recording at that time, especially of gospel music. But as they went out and sang, they would sell these hymnals, which of course led him to be the publisher and all that sort of thing. And of course, he eventually had the first commercial radio station in Tennessee, not Nashville. It was in Lawrenceburg. So as people went from, of course, as time went on, Nashville became popular, and of course, Muscle Shoals got to producing a ton of music. And this is in the whole nation. You had New York and of course L.A. and all that sort of thing. But there was only one music city, and that was Nashville. And of course, just south of there, in Muscle Shoals, were the Swampers and even people like George Michaels. He recorded that Careless Whisper song there before he went back to England and recorded the version we know now. And Elton John. There's a whole bunch of people that go down there for the Swampers and the Muscle Shoals sound. Well, Lawrenceburg is right between the two, so you have to kind of go right through. I don't guess you have to. I guess you could go right 65 and then over, but most people go right through Lawrenceburg. And so whenever it come time to do something tourism-y based, I went ahead and in 2013 bought the Visit Lawrenceburg TN, because there's a bunch of Lawrenceburgs. And every city had basically went in and got their city name. Visit Lawrenceburg. Visit, this name. Visit that name. Even up north of us, Visit Columbia, you know what I mean? And, we had already picked ours, called Downtown Lawrenceburg, you know what I mean? So it was wide open. They already made their call. The city bought and went with Downtown Lawrenceburg. Well, the counties were all getting, Experience name, like even north of us. Experience Murray County. The county people were going with that name, so I bought Visit Lawrenceburg, and lo and behold, the county bought Visit Lawrenceburg. So now there's two of us, but I bought the domain in 2013. I started the Facebook account first. We were here first. I've been around forever. I was here before most of them got out of college. So I'm not want to say that it's bad beef between them, because they unfortunately had to take over something that already got started under other people who were voted out or their term ended, and then the other guy, I'm not going to say what happened, but there was some little drama that happened where he went to another city. And now they're sort of stuck with it, so there's 2. So if you Google Visit Lawrenceburg, put TN for Tennessee, because there's a bunch of Lawrenceburgs. There's a bunch of Lawrence counties.
There's tons of things to tell all these folks, Mike, especially people that are new here and just found us at YouTube. The area where we are located at the north end of the county, we have a community known as the farm community. Now, we have done a ton of those. I would let those guys kind of tell their own story. Originally, they are from like the Ashbury Heights district. They're in the 60s. You know, the whole hippie movement, they came here, set up and things. And then also Davy Crockett, years ago, his political career. Not to mention, we have one of the first distilleries in this particular county since Davy Crockett's time. And we're located close to other major distilleries that people know all over the world. You know, it's a very interesting spot here in Lawrence County.
It is.
It really is. I mean, there's everything, it seems year round, there's always something going on, and that's what we do, is cover it for you guys at home. It appears that there's tons of folks that are interested in moving from the west back east, and a lot of folks are settling in our area, so that's always good. So that way, if you're new or you're maybe even anticipating a move, maybe you can find us too, and we can help you guys out a little bit.
Well, what we do a lot of times is that tourism is based on basically 3 things, and that's something to do, where to eat, and somewhere to stay. Now, we have a lot of very interesting places. Like, for example, you can go to 2 or 3 of our places and rent machine guns.
Yes, you can.
Fully automatic.
Fully auto.
Full casings going everywhere, smiling, and just wasting. And you can't do that just everywhere. And if you do that with a can sitting on top of a fence post, you're probably going to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even Tennessee is very conservative. The federal government says you can't have those. The semis, but the fully, maybe one day.
Place there.
Yeah, we're all for it. We can, if you want to have a tank and get 50 acres and just shoot stuff on them, it's fine. Just don't point it at my house. That's kind of how we believe. But you can also get on kayaks and several different places. And if you're too small to get on a kayak, or that's a little bit much, you can get on a tube. And, in several places, some of the most beautiful scenery down south of us.
We have other things that have happened just here recently. Up at the north end of the county, we do have a lot of the off-road things for people that like to 4-wheel drive, rock climb. We have a ton of that at the south end of the county, trail riding associations and things for people that like to get out with the quads and the ATVs and ride
we can name them.
Trails.
The North Alabama Trail Riders Association. It's done over there off of, was it Orr Road?
I believe it is.
What we call West Point. But
I didn't want to say it because I couldn't remember the road name myself.
Well, we remember Chad's place, down from it. So you can get, if they don't rent them, you have to bring your own, or talk somebody into letting you ride, or ride theirs.
Well, that's another one for people that love horses and things out at the west end of town. It's a more rural type of area. We have a ton of folks that go out around the wildlife, Laura Hill management area there. They ride horses and things on the weekends. It's close to the Natchez Trace, for those of you that know about that. Our county actually butts right up there to it. So it's a very interesting spot, and we have tons of folks, always have, that enjoy coming to visit. They like to stay. Also, we have a large Amish community north. It's one of the largest in the South. That's pretty interesting too, Mike. And I will say this for everybody that has just now found us, you can hunt for Visit Lawrenceburg 10 at other spots on the internet and find short snippets of videos that we have done, but we are going to bring you guys some longer things for YouTube.
It takes hours to make minutes a lot of times, and recording a lot of things and then producing them was a little bit much. And since we don't do this, you can ask any of the video people that we've already featured. We don't charge for that. How we do charge and how we do make money is that if you own something and you would like to get in front of the people that are coming to see our pages, our Visit Lawrenceburg, Tennessee page, or our Amish of Etheridge page, and we got like 20-something of them. We actually own the Visit Pulaski TN and Visit Waynesboro TN. So
the counties east and west of ours.
Yeah, so if you,
we
if
have
you found,
those websites.
Yeah, so you have to pay us to get your product or service in front of that audience, and that makes it fair too, because naturally people aren't going to travel so they can buy insurance or.
That's true. But we can promise you will be in front of that many eyes.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of eyeballs. We've had on our Amish and Mennonite channel one post that went 8.5 something million accounts reached.
Yeah.
And it was about the Doughty House of all things.
I know.
And I messed it up the first time I put it. I put, let's try this again in the front of it, and it still got that many people, because there's a lot of elderly care, which I guess we should probably talk about. A lot of people have said that Lawrence County is all about elderly people. It's all about retirees and all that sort of thing, which I would tell them go up north of town where they're building the big Magna plant.
Yes, they're expecting, I believe I heard 7,000 people to this small community.
Yeah, there's a lot of different companies that are interested in Lawrence County, as our city planners and stuff have done a really good job. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, you guys fight like dogs. We don't, actually. With the county, they're really good at cutting ribbons and talking to people. If you came and talked to us, I don't know what I would tell somebody. He's like, so you want to come to town? Sure. What about a tax break? We would be terrible as far as politics. So we leave that to the guys downtown, don't we?
That's what they do. We
Mayor's
don't do
office
that.
and county office, we're not them, even though we have a name that's the same as their tourism end of it.
Yeah.
But we don't cut ribbons. We don't do any of that stuff. But we do bring you some of the best places in town, even if it's to get a tattoo. Even if you want to shake your butt off, you know what I mean? Where's the best bar? I'm like, what kind of bar? Yeah. You know what I mean? And some of the places that I guess some people want to not mention, we'll go right there. We will go there.
We probably know the people there.
That's true, because you never know what's in. You never know what people like.
That's right.
And some people are like, I've never been to a honky tonk. I've never been square dancing. And I'm like, I can think of 3 or 4 places right now
that you could go.
That you can go and square dance. Just tell them Mike and Josh sent you, and they'll be like, okay, well, you don't even have to drink a lot of times. Just get in there and
have a good time and dance and see everybody. Right. That's kind of a living in the southern U.S. thing. That's people like to communicate and talk a lot, and we have tons of that in this area. Mm-hmm. Tons of things to see. A lot of it is seasonal. A lot of it's not. For folks that do, in fact, say, hey, that's the kind of place I'm looking for, even if it's not here in Lawrence County. Maybe a northern county like Murray or something. If you want solitude, we have that, along with if you want to kind of be in the hub of the excitement, we have that too. So, of course, it's nothing compared to Nashville or Memphis or Los Angeles, Dallas, New York, nothing like that. Yeah. But it is a neat spot, and it seems that people really enjoy this particular area of Tennessee. And we decided, why not show everybody and talk about it?
Well, a lot of people come to see the Amish. It's the largest Amish community in the South. We own the Amish or AmishofEtheridge.com. And a lot of people come from all over the world. We've met people from tons of different countries.
Everywhere.
And, of course, a lot of them are doing the they'll fly into Huntsville sometimes. They'll see the Space and Rocket Center. Then they'll hit a few things on their way up. On their way to Nashville, where they'll fly out, or they'll fly into Nashville, go to from here. You got the whiskey places.
Yes, many times to Jack Daniels. That's the big one.
It's like an hour and 20 minutes or something from here.
Known all over the world. And some good places and some questionable joints. Isn't that right? It is. The old Tennessee team.
Jack Daniels and Tennessee whiskey. We got the Tennessee walking horse. We got a lot of different things in our area. So a lot of people will fly into one city and then leave out the other one, and they'll do some of this kind of fun stuff. Well, Lawrenceburg is in there. As well as other places, and of course we cover them on our website, so it gets a lot of views, because we want people to come have a good time. You know what I mean? It makes us feel good about ourselves when we know that people have came here and had a fun time doing something. Like we was talking about machine guns and stuff. Sometimes they're not even gun people, but they're like, well, I'd like to get that out of my system, or they'd like to go canoeing.
The experience.
Or get on it. Like there's so many of those, like in Wayne County. Oh, you guys in Wayne County are great. Some of these people have never been on a horse.
Yeah.
And now they're on a horse ride with a bunch of others.
Yeah.
And it's just, you see the smile. I mean, you can't, it'll take a week to get the smile off their face.
This is an 800-pound animal, and I'm on it, and it's going.
And it's, you're one of a bunch of people that's going to ride that horse. They don't ride them. You're just basically crawling down a path, but you're on a horse. You feel like giddy up and go. Your trail rider has taught these horses well. And you can get, of course, right there. There's a lot of boating and stuff, a lot of Civil War history. Some people's Civil War
history
field is like some people's Six Flags. And Shiloh is only, like an hour from here?
Oh, yes. Not to mention, Mike, we need to tell them more, too, a little bit more about the south end of the county, like Mountain Sign. We have the Big Red Store. We've mentioned that a lot on our site.
Landmark
was everything at one time. A post office that saw the Civil War. It lots of history. They had reenactments down that way. Just all kinds of things. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, we kind of known as the slow lane of life. I think for a long time that I put that on, the tourism director and I put that on brochures. Is that the slow lane of life used to mean. It was old and boring to a lot of people, but I think with social media and people are becoming mean, and it's just like the culture of other places. You kind of a lot of people are wanting the slow lane of life. They're wanting things to slow down.
Authentic.
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
A very authentic experience.
So, and you can, and I hate to say that you can only get that here, but I will say this. There's only a few places you can get that kind of slow down, peaceful, tranquil type of, and I know I just mentioned renting machine guns and going down the river on a kayak, but I'm just saying that very authentic country living, slow down part of your life. I know a lot of people have waited to go to as soon as they get a vacation, they want to go to the beach, or they want to go to the mountains, or they want to go to some theme park where they wait 2 hours to ride a 30-second ride. Yeah. And then at the end of the day feel like terrible. They spend a lot of money on $20 hamburgers and $7 Cokes and all that stuff, where that same amount of money would have spent a week here. Yeah. You could have relaxed. We got a bunch of places that have spas. They'll put stuff on you. They'll
I've got that coming on a video. I'm fixing to go get a massage.
Yeah, the massage just, you know what I mean? Some of those ladies have, they must have been bricklayers as kids or something. They can just
get in
crunch
there.
you in, and they put the stuff on your face, and you can get a spa-like experience here for a lot less than you can in other places. What I'm saying is that Lawrence County, and of course Wayne and Columbia, you know what I mean? We do stuff with Mike Wolf, so we're up there in Murray County too. So this little circle is really nice, and a lot of people kind of don't come here, but wish they would have after they've seen some of our videos and all that sort of thing. So what we're going to try to do is produce these kind of videos so people can see what we have to offer. A lot of times you go to these...
Well, we could tell them this to a ton of folks. Go over to the Great Smoky Mountains. Mm-hmm. Well, when they come west, the great thing about it, Lawrence County is about halfway to Memphis. You can just stop around here. We have a ton to do before you go on west. So
as far as the northwest, or as far as north to south, east and west, as you're between, we tell all the time about how we're halfway between the Nashville and Huntsville, where we're only 53 miles from Huntsville, so we're actually closer to Huntsville. But we're also almost smack dab in the middle between Memphis and Chattanooga. And of course there's Ruby Falls, and then of course on the other side there's the Grizzly Games, and then they have Beale Street and
see the pyramid and Elvis
and all that sort of thing. So if you want to see real Tennessee, you know what I mean, you want to experience something pretty nice, this is actually a pretty good place. Now, we're spoiled. Now, if you go on there and you Google something, you're probably going to find a local person that would love to be in Nashville.
Yeah.
And is complaining because we don't have Bill Street. We don't have a downtown like Nashville.
Yeah,
we don't have
the scale and largeness of it.
So you're not going to find something like the Frist. You know what I mean? But if you want that Amish experience, you want that machine gunning, and of course, if that's not your deal, you'd rather do the running around thing. We have things like Summertown Airsoft.
Oh yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean? 400 something places to hide. They got forts and mazes. Oh, yes. You know what I mean? So if you're into that paintball-y type stuff, we got things for younger kids. We can go let you also throw axes and knives and all that stuff.
Not to mention golf. I believe there's 1, 2, 3 golf courses I can think of. Different locations throughout the county, all different holes. I know one of them's a driving range.
Yeah, they have a driving range
all kinds
with
of
2 or
things.
3 of them.
And, of course, David Crockett State Park, you can't go wrong out there. All kinds of trails for the kids. You can fish there. In the summer, you can paddle boat. It's just a very neat spot. We do a lot of stuff out at the state park. So
there's a lot of stuff we can do. So what we wanted to talk about, is that we're going to be showing a lot of this stuff, and because we never anticipated that somebody would. That one of the best highlights of their trip was square dancing or something down there at Parker's place, or riding their ATVs and stuff up there at like it's on the tip of my tongue. We're always talking about it.
It's not Woolies, but we're close to Woolies too. It's bad to get old, isn't it, folks?
Yeah, we go.
Well, they just had it on New Year's.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're good.
We're going to have... Yeah. I would say edit this out, but no, we're not going to edit this out. We're going to go
what
to...
Is the name? It's the...
Wheeling in the Country.
Wheeling in the Country.
I got the C part, and I was like, what? It's not... No, it's the thing.
Yes, people come all over that
all
will
over.
Crawl in and mud, four-wheel drives. We have all of that.
Yeah, Wheeling in the Country and the Tennessee Riders, or North Alabama Trail Riders Association. Those two. If you've got anything that would drive on a trail well, you know what I mean. You'll see
hybrids
all
and
kinds
things,
of stuff.
all of them.
And it's neat where you just what is it a quarter mile or a couple miles from there, you've got skeet shooting and stuff at Eagle Eye Shooting Complex. And, of course, where we mentioned they have a Barrett 50 caliber. I think it's like $5 a shot or better. It's probably more than that now.
Yeah.
But, and they got all kinds of submachine guns and stuff as well. Of course, Top Gun arms.
If you wanted to shoot off a 40 model Thompson, you can do that. I mean,
it's
nice. All
Top
indoor.
Gun comes in.
Yes.
If you want to try Tech 9 or any of those kind of guns, and that's fine. You don't have to be a gun person. You're shooting at a target, a B-27. It just riddles into pieces. You can fold it up. You can hang it up and show all your buddies, you know what I mean, what you did when you went and rode those Amish wagons. Of course, one of the few places. Now, I went all, with the Amish and Mennonite, I went all over Tennessee, from Bristol all the way to Memphis and up to like Milan, above all that sort of thing. Just all over the state, getting the Amish and Mennonite show up and going, or creating content for it. That's why I really need a lot of you guys to advertise with us, because that was very expensive. Anyway, it's not.
I just had to stay home and type. I didn't get to go.
Yeah, so around us, I mean, with those trips and everything, I've spent $70,000 of my own money. But one thing is that we've got the only place in Tennessee, and one of the few in the entire country. And you can ask Eric Westner of Amish America this. There's only a handful of places where you can get on an Amish wagon. Of course, it's English owned.
That's true.
That will take you by horse and buggy into the Amish community, where you can meet them and buy from them. Now, bring cash. That's one of the secrets there.
And wear shoes. They're closed.
Yes.
No open toes.
You might step in cow poop or something like that, or dog poop. Anyways, you're in the Amish country. You're going to get road apples, trust me. And anyway, it will wheel you on a 2-hour tour for $10 an adult, $5 a child, on this wagon. It's pulled by horses. Now they change out the horses. The horses are pampered. I mean, sometimes I'd like to live like the horses. I think me and you just pulling could just about pull a wagon.
Folks, I wrote a blog for all of you that have been to our actual website, not just here on YouTube, that was Amish, the True American Horseman, because it would not make sense for someone to go out and tear up their car purposely or to tear up their tractor purposely. These folks know more. That's their life. That's their religious belief. They're anti-Baptist. It's their life. That's how they live. Now, that's something we need to tell you guys at home. If you do come to visit, like the Amish community, definitely remember that they're not like reenactors. No, they're real folks that live like that. They're not going to get in their car and drive home at the end of the day. No, that's where they live and things. And for people that have never seen it, I guess it's fascinating. And it's kind of at times can be confusing, but it's interesting also. It's if you want to really see people hand saw wood by hand, or make sorghum molasses or anything the old way of doing it, they still do. They cut hay, put it up loose, things like that, make candles, soaps, just about anything you can think of. It's very interesting place.
Well, I should tell them that the guide on the wagon tour could tell you all about the Anabaptist movement and how the Amish think and live about things. Now, there's a few that I wish would change their mind about something that's not true, but anyway, that's a whole different deal. So, anyway, what we wanted to talk about here was a little bit about why we started the Visit Lawrenceburg page. You'll probably somewhere in there see where we talk about the Visit Pulaski TN. The same thing happened. We went over there to talk to them. They kind of freaked out a little bit about these two guys from next door buying a website with their name. So, of course, they released Visit Pulaski, but there's also a bunch of Pulaskis. So what happened? We've got the Visit Pulaski TN. Now, we haven't really messed with it much. And, of course, Waynesboro were like, I'm pretty sure they're coming over here. So they went with Natchez Travel. Yeah. So we own Visit Waynesboro TN as well. And
but all of those places have tons of things to offer also.
Absolutely.
In each little place is just a touch different than the other.
Mm-hmm. And they all have their own restaurants.
Yes.
They have their own little downtown stuff, and they've got,
different history things that happened in those counties. It's very interesting.
But, we have some really good hotels. They have some really good hotels in bed and breakfasts and Airbnbs that we can trust. Now, if you are an Airbnb, there is one thing. We have to personally go to the Airbnb and check it out. Yep. So if we recommend one, we've been there.
Yes.
So you're not going to get
been there
crazy.
Ate and looked at things and
met the owners. It's the only way you get to be on our. We don't charge them. They're just on our sites. None of them pay us any money. Like I say, how we get money is, for one, we're going to have a lot of courses in some of our other shows. Now, we are, I would say, beyond passion. Passion is probably not a great word about other shows. Like for me, I had a 1 pound 13 ounce baby who had to spend the first 3 months of her life at a NICU, where I got to see several other kids not make it, and I saw some of their parents just fall apart. So I'm going to have a course to that. That is as my heel, if you know what I'm saying. For the Older Dad Show, that's both of us.
Yep.
You're going to see us cry and throw a fit sometimes. I mean, because we're really passionate about the older dad, because we're calling older dads anybody 36 and up before they had their first child. We wear these tweed maker suits.
This is true.
And we look like we come out of the 1800s. But we're serious about that movement, and it's only getting stronger, and it seems like America's culture is getting worse, so we're going to talk about it.
I wish we could talk about that here, but I'm not
going
to
do that next.
That. Well, we could. It doesn't matter. I'm very passionate about that.
Talk about also the Crockett Coon Hound, because that's yours.
Now, that is mine. That is another website that you guys will see us there. That's what we're telling you. For years and years, I bred and sold and trained registered coon hounds, black and tans, and I'm now into the Walker hounds and mixed breed hounds for everybody at home that's following us, coon hounds. But went all over the U.S. doing that and love the outdoors. That could be hunting, that could be fishing, that could be taking the kids in the outdoors, that could be for you ladies that follow us. What is the best barbecue grill for the back porch? What shoes to get if you like to walk for your health? I mean, what do you want to buy your husband? Maybe gifts. If maybe he wants to make summer sausage. I don't know. Just all things outdoors. That is pretty well what we cover over there. I've got tons of content already, from outdoor bracelets to what's the best way to dig a stump out of the front yard, how to start a fire in high wind. I mean, it's,
what to eat.
Yeah, what to eat, when to eat it.
If you can't eat it.
Yeah.
Mushrooms and
well,
some
for
of the
all the folks that generally I have a demographic. I'm gonna tell you guys, and we're gonna get back on topic. But generally, I have a ton of folks that are homesteaders, pioneers. Some of them are new to it. Some of them say things like, "Well, I've been camping. I used to love to camp," and I'm like, "Really? How long ago was that?" "Oh, about 25 years ago. But now I'm going to carry the grandkids," and I'm like, "So it's been a minute." Have you been out there at 50 and laid on the ground? Let me just tell you about some air mattresses and tents and things. That way, people can experience and love the outdoors, because Mike and myself are both, in times past especially, always been in the outdoors. That was hunting, fishing, sports, just being out there. Our lifestyle was conducive to that. So, that's why we talk about it. Try to keep people up on things. What's the best pocket knife? What's the best shoes? If you're going to
especially fly fishing.
Yes, fly fishing. We did a ton of it.
Yeah.
Our drone guy, one of them, you haven't seen these guys yet, just snippets if you followed us on different platforms, actually borrowed my stuff to tie bead heads. He's going to crappie fish. So
that's pretty well. I bring that up because we don't necessarily need our visit pages, our Amish things, you know what I mean, our other pages. So it allows us to have a section of affiliate and local advertising opportunities for people that's never had something. Like Josh has got a master's of business science from Trevecca. I've worked in engineering, so as far as putting things together and seeing how gears work, we put our heads together, and yeah, there's a reason why I could talk about all this high end stuff, is because we're very successful at advertising and getting the word out about things. But having these other shows, that's what our passion's about.
Well, that's the beauty that we need to tell all these folks. We're not a government entity. No, we're private individuals. So we generally try to say positive, good things. That's what most people do. Mm-hmm. But if we don't like it, we will in fact tell you, "I'd never do that again." Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe we shouldn't do that, but accurate view, so people understand what's going on.
That's very true. It's, well, I mean, I don't want to air too much, but there was one of the groups downtown that told everybody to go to a particular place. I'm not going to mention it because you could probably find it. That deep down we know that people shouldn't go down there.
Yeah.
Definitely. And there's certain things that lurk in the night, I guess, in a way. And people don't need to be down there. And because they don't know tourism and they don't know people that well, they're just trying to get views. Mm-hmm. I don't really care that much about views. I care about a certain group of topics that my other shows are going to be about. And I'm going to tell people the truth about certain places and who they're for.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I would never tell a first time, you just got a brand new motorbike. I wouldn't say, and I'm sure people at Wheeling in the Country and the other places will tell me this. You have no business in certain places trying to do a certain particular thing because you've seen it on another YouTube video. It's going to be extremely dangerous. A lot of those places down there in West Point, aren't for the faint of heart. They're for people that are serious about ATV.
Basically, professional riders.
Absolutely.
I mean,
So you would never you would never get that careless. So what we're going to say might cost some people to not do it. That's true, and that's because we care about people, and we're going to say this is what's going to happen. There's a pizza that we're going to eat later that you literally have to sign a waiver for. Don't believe us? Go on to Heine's, message them. There's going to be a pizza where you have to sign a waiver,
yeah.
and we're going to eat it because
I shot my mouth off. It was like, me and Michael eat it. I like hot stuff. Yeah,
I would never tell anybody with a dangerous ulcer, you need to eat this pizza that you have to sign a waiver for. You know what I mean? Because I'd be careless. So
I wouldn't have done it, show or not, if we hadn't eaten hot things in the past. I wouldn't do it.
But as far as our branding, we're not going to lie a bit about some of the things that we wear that are local. And listen, I'm proud of it. We both adorn the last of the hats from Colonel Littleton. You can go right over there in Linville, and you can walk into his store and look around at the most beautiful leather works that you've probably ever laid eyes on.
The smell of it is it's that leather
I'm just
smell.
It's like flying around.
Love that place. Let me pull it up and show it to you. And that's what that is.
Yeah, the Colonel Littleton's. We get no sponsors. He don't know who we are. Nope. We're so small to that guy, you know what I mean? I want to be like Colonel when I grow up. When I get old, that's what I want to be. I want to be Colonel. You know what I mean? He's just so cool. Let's look up Colonel Littleton. You know what I mean? And if there was a shirt manufacturer here, I would say, can you make us a 3XT? You have an XLT. You know what I mean? And I would try to wear that because I want to show off some of our local businesses. Yep. You know what I mean? And so if it's wearing a hat or wearing a shirt or something like that, we just did, I don't know if you said, well, kind of, Birchberry shoes. We just did an unboxing. We're going to try to work out with something with them for the Older Dad Show or possibly the Crockett Coon Hound and all that sort of thing. So you'll see some of that.
We have tons of little antique shops. You know, a ton of folks, they love to get something and they like to look for things like that while they're on a trip. We have a ton of it, folks. I mean, tons of it. And some is some very nice things.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't know what we're looking at.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be some Russian, one-off, salt and pepper shaker that's worth a fortune. We're like, it's 50 cents, Also, what we're going to do is show a lot of comparisons. It's not because we want to trash anybody. Don't get me wrong. It's just that whenever, like Heine's has a pizza, one of their best pizzas is this kind of a Western-inspired brisket pizza because they're primarily a barbecue place. And, oh, my goodness, it's like Tripp made up his own sauce. You know what I mean? And he's got a brick oven pizza from Italy. Also, the Noble Fox has phenomenal pizza. He drives all the way up to Nashville to get it from this exclusive place that makes these dough balls. So once he runs out, there's no more. Yep. He only serves it 2 days a week, Thursday and Friday, simply because that's his pizza days. You know what I mean?
Well, and we can't forget about someone else. Now, on other pages, if you guys would like to throw in axe.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we have the axe throwing down at Loretta, Tennessee. And that's another good one. Actually, owner Wade Pettis texted me the other day, Mike. He is going back to I think it's like the U.S. team to throw.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's very good.
Double-handed, single-handed. It's
He can throw knives too, isn't it?
Knife throwing. I mean, that's another interesting, neat thing that we offer here.
And and those are great places. We'll also talk about being if it rains. So if you're here and it starts pouring or it looks like it's going to do something bad in the weather, you just look up on what's on the Amish of Etheridge now as far as what to do when it rains. And, of course, we have bowling. Yeah. You know what I mean? Our bowling alley has, on especially Saturday nights, the black lights come on.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And, of course, everybody's teeth, there's some shirts. But, of course, it's lit up. And of course, if you have kids, you got the gutter ball thing. They put this little ball, it rolls off the end, and just about every one of them hits a pin of some sort. So it's a good family gathering next to their Strikers Steakhouse, which has like coffee cured fillets, and it's just a really good. And of course, once you go in the building, you're in the building. You don't have to walk around to get in. You just walk through a door if it's raining out, or it's cold, or it's just late. You know what I mean? And you could bowl the night away.
We have other interesting things in the historic district. We have a new restaurant, 1819, on the public square. We have the Society Noshery.
Yeah.
That's down there. Not to mention the old jail museum. Now that's a really neat thing. I mean, it looks like something from a movie. It's like a big door, and
it's like the Green Mile inside.
It is, isn't it? It's
and you can lock. Well, you can't lock it, but you can shut your kids in and take pictures of them. 'Cause I don't know what it is. A kid in jail. First, I don't know what it is. You could be alone and the jail door be open and a kid will run and get in it and shut it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
And you could take pictures and they're like, I'm in jail. And it's like, that's not funny, but it's kind of funny.
Kind of funny.
But they have two different kinds of cells. They got a more of a gate lattice looking one, and they have the bars, and it's got the things inside of it. So it's very interesting. Of course, we have several museums. Of course, the David Crockett Museum, the James D. Vaughn Museum that shows how the books are made.
The winery and the Crockett Cinema Theater that does, in fact, sometimes host different events. It's an original. I don't even recall the year, Mike. 1940s, 50.
Yeah,
something.
it opened in 50. It's got the Art Deco,
glowing neon. It's neat.
We need to have more shows there. Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say that right now to the camera. We need to have shows there.
Yes,
we don't need just this Mickey Mousing around. It seats 1,265 people. I was there whenever they restored
with the balcony.
It has the original balcony section. You can go up and around. But Franklin went up there and fully restored their theater. They have people all the time at that theater. We can sit 3 or 4 times as many people, and no one messes with it. They want it to be like a museum. And I'm like, no. That thing was made to seat people to do a show. And we can have a rock show. We can have other types of shows. People can come and put on a show in the Crockett Theater.
There's some other things there that we've forgotten. Also, another one is like the Music at the Mill, the Bluegrass Summertown Festival.
Oh, yeah. People come all over for the Bluegrass reunion.
Yes, and the Crossroads of Dixie tractor pull that we have. We have
the monster trucks. And, look up the Rotary. We have a whole page to the Rotary Club events and all that stuff. We have the District Fair. Yeah. And I'm not saying a county fair. County fair means, you know what I mean, it's just small stuff. There's not really a lot of rides, all that sort of thing. No, we've got the Middle Tennessee District Fair.
Huge.
It's
in September. Yeah, it's double Ferris wheel time.
Yeah, usually
rides.
October.
Is it October?
Somewhere in there, into September, into October. Just look out for it. It changes kind of periodically. It usually goes for about 9 or 10 days also. And, of course, you can see everything from the biggest pumpkins to the rabbits. Yeah, you won. That's right. You had a winner for something. Yeah. And they have a few rooms of exhibits and all that sort of thing.
And lots of other folks that live in very suburban types of areas that have never seen things like a working dairy farm. We have places here like Flowers Creamery where you can literally go in, get a half gallon of milk, and they're like, it came from those cows. And we pasteurized it right there.
They have a tour that shows you the whole process. Now, you can't go into their clean room, but they have these big windows so you can sort of push your little face up through there and look at them. They have to wear these little spacesuit looking things to keep it all clean because
last time we were out there, they had mentioned ice cream. I don't know if they've got ice cream yet.
Yeah, maybe by the time you're watching this, they might have ice cream or something like that. But we have an airport that has flying lessons.
They also host some shows.
Yeah, that's true. So So some of the stuff that we even have that other people have, the way we intersperse it with the rest of the community might be different. Like we have a lot of World War II aircraft, and they show you how to restore. There's a few people that do the restoring process, so they have some old Beechcraft and some of those old jets and stuff like that. So it's not just merely an airport, you know what I mean? It has a lot of functionality, and you can learn how to fly.
Yeah.
So it is super interesting. Well, so I guess bringing this to a little bit of a close is that we wanted you to see our see our
this is
face.
us.
This is us, and when we say stuff, it isn't because somebody paid us to. It's because we wanted to. We have a whole backlog of when I used to be the tourism president. So we're going to show you guys some things, and we'll probably sometimes show you some stuff that happened in the past. Yeah. That we're trying to sort of make people think about today. Like, we used to have, like, the Heritage Festival on the square. We had the Swampers. We had these people from Muscle Shoals come up, and we'd put on these big parties, and we don't really do that anymore. Yeah. And all that sort of thing. But maybe by the time you guys get around, the tides are changing. We're having more people move here. We're having a lot of companies start up. And it isn't quite the good old boys club. Your last name doesn't mean much. You know, we had a family that come here because I happened to show Winnie's Bed and Breakfast, and now they're buying up a lot of things even on the square and moving their company headquarters to here. One year I had a lady reach out about the Amish, and she came to stay at the same bed and breakfast, at Winnie's, and she was from Russia. She flew with her 2 kids. And you can ask Winnie this. You can ask her, because she said, why did you usually don't book really small kids to come to my place? And I didn't think she was going to come, but she ended up coming. So there's people from all over that have come here to have a really good time. So what we're saying is that's probably going to fit you one day. You're going to say one day, what am I going to do this year that's different? I want to go somewhere that's not just a beach, not just a mountain, and not just a theme park. What else is there? And maybe you're going to say, I could fly to Nashville or Huntsville.
Come down.
And you can come in here. I mean, like, our most expensive suite at our best hotel, the Best Western Plus, is only like $150. And that's if you don't get a discount. So you can stay a week here for what you can other places in one day. So, when I'm in Charleston, my wallet hurts. You know what I mean? Charleston, South Carolina, because the place is awesome, but it's extremely expensive. So what I'm saying is, if that's you want the slow lane of life, you want to come here to relax and feel like a 7-day vacation is more like 14 days, this is probably your spot. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we just wanted you guys to hear us. Yep. Some things about us and why we started this, and some of the other things that we do. And what else is there?
Well, I don't know. There's actually, there's so much. It's one of those you just kind of got to watch our show.
Yeah, I guess so. But we wanted to make it extremely authentic. You're meeting somebody that does this. Now,
real people that are not getting paid by the people of Lawrence County. We've never asked them for a dime.
Yeah. So. Well, a lot of the time they don't have enough money to pay us anyway. And also, I should say, in just clarification and absolute transparency, that all of the shows we just mentioned are under the umbrella of our company. Well, Tara's the 3rd member, but of the Progeny Adventure Group, LLC. We have to put it in all of our things. And Visit Lawrenceburg is just but one of those companies that are under that bigger umbrella. And all of those companies have basically one thing in common. It's all about travel and children.
Yes.
So we're very passionate about travel and kids. So we're going to ask for more families, you know what I mean? Not to say if you don't have a family, you can't come. I'm not saying that at all. But that's just typically where our wheelhouse is. Yeah. Since we're in our mid-40s. Yeah. And our kids are not even in double digits. Mine's 7 and yours is 8. So we're older than their teacher. Well, ours is homeschooled, but, yours is...
Mine is not.
Yeah.
I am.
You go to... You've been getting around pretty, though. I mean, you got to several different schools, all that sort of thing. So we definitely have opinions, and we're real people. So we wanted to show you guys that. We want to be absolutely transparent. If there's something else, put in the comments. If you've watched some of us before and you liked our video or didn't like it, also put that in the comments.
Want to know more about something, tell us, and we'll try to go out and make you a video on it.
Or sometimes there's a place that opened we didn't even know. You know what I mean?
That is true.
How many times and we shouldn't. We should be the ones that are... I don't even know how to say it. We should be the ones that know it before anybody else. And sometimes we're driving by going, what?
How can I live at the south end of such a small place and never know till Mike told me, there's a full deli at the north end of the county? And I'm like, do what? Never knew it.
Yeah.
How is that possible? I don't know, but...
That's true. So sometimes you guys are the first to tell us. I had on the Amish of Etheridge, it was Amish and Mennonite, because I shared the Stantonville community. And it's Stantonville. I don't care what people over in the McNairy County. It is in Stantonville. Just north of that's Gilchrist. It's not in Adamsville. You know what I mean? It's downtown. Anyway. They told me about Mennonites coming into Wayne County, and I had no idea. So a lot of times viewers give us news we never knew. So this is part of a community. So that's another thing we need to add is that this is a part of a community. This is not just Lawrenceburg, it's Lawrenceburg area. Yep. So the reason we said Flowers Creamery is because it's in Etheridge, but not technically in Lawrence County. It's actually in Giles County. Yeah. So, or Top Gun is technically in Giles County. The shooting complex, Eagle Eye, is I think technically in Murray County. The farm is technically in Lewis County, even though it's got a Summertown address. But to us, they're in Lawrence County. They're in our area, and we love them too.
So close there.
Mm-hmm. If we were in politics, you would say they didn't pay us tax money. Yeah. You know what I mean? So therefore, we can't include them or whatever. And I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I don't care nothing about boundaries and lines.
We have tons of house blended and ground coffees here. That's another thing. Tons of places. Doesn't matter what part of the county you're in. Mm-hmm. I don't know what all, Mike. There's just tons of stuff. But
I would say the most of it, as the person who I guess did the most of the tourism stuff, even though I kind of handed it off to Josh. And you'll see Josh a lot more than me. I have to edit all this stuff and make things out of it. Josh has got his own green screen, as you guys have watched.
We're in the good studio today for you too.
Yeah, so. The Neumann KM 184s and the big lights.
They say part of. I don't know if they can see it or not. I don't know.
I can't tell from looking at the monitor. Maybe so. But anyway, we spend a lot of our own money. We're not sponsored by anybody. If my mouth says it, it's because I believe it. And Josh is the same way.
I wouldn't try to steer anybody wrong, that's for sure.
And we want people that, of course, if you've got a product or a service and you want to get in front of our audience, people that we're attracting, and you do have something that we agree with. Yeah. Obviously, if you have something like you sell sticks to beat children to death, I'm going to be like, no, actually, you don't need to be in business at all. Hold on, let me give a call to some of those sketchy people from around here and see if we can get you dealt with that same stick. So what I'm saying is that we're going to be very selective about who we let on.
That's true,
because we put our ad spaces in line with our content, and that way there's no pop up. There's no annoying self-starting video. We try not to go with an ads network, something like Ezoic.
Nothing is worse than wanting to look at a website and then right there in your face. It's like, great, I just click off of it now. I'm like, never mind, I'll find somebody else.
Well, we have to use those on other shows, like the Older Dad Show and all them guys. We have to use an ad network. But for our local guys, we believe if you buy local, you should advertise local.
Yep.
And if you got something that other people would like to see naturally in your local area, they probably already know you exist.
Oh, yeah.
So what we try to do is say, since we have a more, I guess, expansive audience that's already coming here from all over, that those people might not know you exist. Or if they do kind of know, they don't know what you do. Yeah. So our job is we see it. We're self-appointing our job, but we believe if we showcased a lot of you guys that have those places as an advertisement, the people that are coming here to watch things are going to be like, I can understand why they did that. Yeah. It's a local business, and all that sort of stuff. And hopefully we'll have it at a price point that is conducive for you to being on it. Now, of course, the Amish of Etheridge, there's one large Amish community in the entire South, and that's Etheridge. So naturally, that's going to be $500 to even get on the website at all. But you're in front of it's already got like over 1 million impressionary hits. So it's for people that want to play ball.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Maybe even some of the Amish folks in other communities that want to advertise.
Yeah, that's where the Amish and Mennonite page will do all of Tennessee. It'll be even more expensive than the Amish of Etheridge. The Visit Lawrenceburg is probably going to be about half of that, simply because it says Visit Lawrenceburg TN. So it's going to be more based on sorry, 7-year-old the Clash. Yeah, you hear playing with their magnets must have fell. You probably hear stomping here in a second. But what'll happen with that kind of advertising is that you will have a level of where it's just on the website. So then there'll be a what we call on the Amish of Etheridge that's what we call the garden level. That gets your seed planted and then you can watch it grow. And it'll do lead generation back to something you own, like your website or your Facebook page or something that you own. So, and of course, we're going to have to filter a lot of these. The second one is for people that know their people aren't reading. They want to get in front of our YouTube traffic. So, for example, what if you've seen a Heine's ad that showed this really cool, slick video about Heine's barbecue? Then it came to me and Josh. You know what I mean? So that, or if we stopped about midstream and said, now from our sponsor, Story and Lee, where you can buy the best furniture, you know what I mean? And then we run a little ad. And of course, if you don't like it, you can just zip through it or whatever. That's the risk. You know what I mean?
But we can just promise that we can put you in front of that many people.
Yeah, and they at least have the opportunity if they want to watch it. And of course, like we're the headquarters of Cabinets to Go. You know what I mean? Which, since we have a headquarters in their warehouse here, they go all over the United States on those nice big purple trucks. So obviously, we're going to come see you, Avi. We're going to come see you. Yep. You know what I mean? To talk some business. He'll probably just turn us down. I don't know. But it's like, no, we got it. You're small. But if anybody else wants to, that's great. Now, we're also going to have a third option that combines the other two. So that gives you the best of the website.
Yes.
Of course, the live shows, as you can tell, all this stuff is run through vMix on a $5,000 computer that lets us live stream this stuff too. So we'll strip the audio from our interviews and then put those onto a platform kind of like Libsyn or that streams podcast everywhere. So the people that want to make a lot of noise in the next room. Anyway, those people that want to listen to a podcast for a long time will be able to hear those. And of course, we can break those up into 6 segments to do podcast advertising for the people that would like to buy those. So that's how we're going to make our money. And hopefully you guys are going to see this and be like, hey, how much is it? And start inquiring. You probably talk to Josh. He's the one with the... he has a whopping, 3 degrees in business?
Oh, I don't know. I lost count.
Well, there's like a bachelor's.
I don't like much, and I would be Dr. Brown.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to think of that. I know you have 1 or 2 bachelors and a master's. So
yeah, I think that's right. I've got a. Oh, I don't know.
Well, we know my number, don't we?
I almost have one in computers, but
yeah. Well,
did.
I have a whopping 0, in everything business. So I leave that to Josh to kind of work out. And so anyway, that's your advertising models. I didn't show that. I'm not going to show it on the screen because this isn't about that. So what I'm trying to show is the people that just watch our show that would like to know a little bit about us.
This is what we do. I mean, this is it. When I graduated from college, actually, talked to Mike, and I said, man, I'd like to do something with computers. And he said, it's funny you say that. And that was 6 years ago or 5, 7. It was a long time ago now.
Yeah. There's something that happens that when I had heart surgery 3 months before my daughter was born, and hopefully I can say this without crying or whatever, but I remember going, if anybody's ever been to the hospital in a situation where you might not make it, okay? I'm just going to say it like that. Your opinion about things changes when that happens. I'd already had pancreatitis to a level they called in family, or they wanted to call in family, and I had this little what do I do? And I sort of I was jacked up, and I was trying to hold my wife's hands and try to say I'm sorry, but I guess this is the end, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And of course I lived through that, but I didn't go very far before I had heart problems. And I remember looking all over at all the stuff they were going to use on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was ablation surgery, but for 3 hours and 52 minutes, they had me going to town on it. And I remember when my daughter was born, they taking her and putting their PICC lines in her and all that sort of, because she was a NICU baby. She's 1 pound 13 ounces. And I remember that little head was just a moving. Yeah. And I was like, man, it was just like my head. I did the same thing as they wheeled her into the NICU and started setting her up and putting little CPAP-y looking things on her and all that sort of thing, getting her weighed. And I was like, there is no way that thing's going to live. But I promised myself, and Josh had the
similar.
Yeah, the umbilical cord was wrapped around David's neck, and he didn't know if they were going to get that loose, and it was just like, he's not a NICU baby, you know. He's a big baby, isn't he?
Dave's a big guy. Y'all will see him on a lot of the Crockett, Coon, Hound stuff, but couldn't come out, and umbilical cord was too short. And then I graduated from graduate school and all of this, and myself about 3 years later found out that I had severe sleep apnea to the point my heart stopped 2 or 3 times while I was trying to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And wake up one morning with the whole world spinning around, and sat on the back patio and thought, man, it might be time to make some different choices in life and find out what you're passionate about. And
absolutely.
It would be this.
Yeah, and what we're calling
something.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. People that get we're a changed group. We're kind of a psychotic almost group to normal people. It's like, you guys are crazy.
Why do you keep doing that?
But whenever I had a lot of trouble, I didn't think, man, I wish I could work another 10 hours in my job. I wish I could have. You don't think of that. You think of almost stupid stuff, don't you? You think. For me, I kept thinking, I wish I would have fly fished in Belize, because I'm an expert fly caster. I've always wanted to catch even more tarpon and more permit, bonefish, all that stuff. I wanted to do that before I croaked. So sometimes, now look at me now. Now watch. There are times in your life where you're going to have to get serious about something that you normally didn't care about. And a parent dying, or a really bad divorce, or something I'm not saying what it is. For us, we had different things. Of course, we're the old people with small kids now. And so, anyway, whatever that is, sometimes you can come to a place like this and get that kind of what we would refer to as repair. Yeah. Something in you just draws yourself to something that's a place, that's where you can do something that's especially meaningful. Now, of course, I'm speaking in broad terms because I don't know who you are, but I know that there's a time in your life where you're going to say, I need to do that. Yep. And sometimes you can really, what we would call, find yourself. Yeah. Grabbing the reins of a horse. And over there in Wayne County,
the experience,
you know what I mean, or Hudson's horses in Harvest, they have riding lessons, and you can find yourself with the hat on, getting it up and going in this wood, and being like, I have never been like this in my entire life. Yeah. And that's what we're saying. Sometimes it's midway through something that you find out, maybe guns are for me. This is fun.
I should have done this years ago.
And it's like, I've always been anti-gun, but they're really not that bad, are they? Yeah. Or mid-stroke, when you're watching. Oh, how many times has this happened? Comment below. If you've been on a kayak or canoe in West Point, when you're stroking through there and you come upon this big, really beautiful bluff, and a bald eagle comes out over you.
That's right.
And you're like, far out. Did you see that?
That was an eagle.
That was so cool. It's a bald eagle just hanging out. I mean, they literally do. I mean, look it up. Look up Shoal Creek, Lawrence County, bald eagle, and you'll probably see some people come up on Google. So there's times where that especially meaningful thing can only be attained if you're in that place.
I love people that have never seen livestock type of animals up close, especially children. Mike tells a great story about 3 little boys seeing a horse for the first time, and they're getting brave enough to touch it. And we have a plethora of that here. If you want to see them, there they are.
It's neat.
And it means a lot to a lot of people. And It's just it's nice to see somebody experience something like that and know that you made that memory for them, you know, and you guys are getting it by watching us. That's what I enjoy the most about this, I think.
Yeah, I think they're also probably thinking, what is that sound? And I have bought, we have a Dyson. I know a lot of people are like, well, why shouldn't you should get a rainbow, you know, all that sort of thing. But anyway, I have a Dyson vacuum cleaner, and we bought my daughter a play version.
She's vacuuming.
And she's found it, and she's
decided to under the door.
So I think she's like, I'm tired of you talking. Play with me. So anyway, I guess we better end this in some capacity to play with her.
Hopefully you guys know more about us now.
Yeah, all that sort of thing. So you want to sign us off since you're Mr. Visit Lawrenceburg now.
Well,
you can do the ending.
We hope that helps some of you guys out here on YouTube, and definitely make sure to look for more videos. And that is Mike, and I'm Josh, and we hope you guys have a great day and even better tomorrow.